SpaceX's Starship has always represented more than just a rocket. It's a vision, a bold step toward making humanity an interplanetary species. At the heart of this vision lies a towering, stainless steel marvel, built to transport cargo and people to the Moon, Mars, and beyond. But what sets Starship apart isn't just its size or power, it's the concept of reusability. SpaceX has reimagined the future of space travel, where rockets don't crash into oceans or burn up in the atmosphere after a single use. Instead, they return, get inspected, refueled, and are ready to launch again, swiftly and efficiently. This reusable system is intended to slash the costs of space travel, making it possible to launch more missions, explore farther, and ultimately establish colonies beyond Earth. To bring this vision to life, SpaceX has conducted multiple test flights, pushing Starship to its limits and gathering crucial data to improve the rocket's systems. In these tests, the Starship's powerful first-stage booster, known as Super Heavy, plays a central role. This massive booster is designed to propel Starship into orbit before separating and returning to Earth, where it lands on the launch pad, caught by the launch tower's chopstick arms. This ambitious technique, known as a launch tower catch, enables faster turnover between flights and reduces the need for landing pads. With each test flight, SpaceX engineers refine this process, making Starship safer and more reliable. But as bold as SpaceX's vision is, the challenges are just as monumental. Every launch brings risks, each one a reminder of the technical complexity behind reusability. This brings us to the fifth test flight, a mission where everything almost went disastrously wrong. Just seconds before Super Heavy's planned catch on the launch tower, an error nearly triggered an automatic abort, which would have sent the booster crashing down next to the tower. This close call revealed both the precision needed for Starship's ambitious goals and the thin margin for error that SpaceX operates within. As we delve into this mission, we'll see how SpaceX navigated this high-stakes moment and what it means for the future of space exploration. Preparing for each Starship launch isn't just about fueling up the rocket and hitting a button, it's an intricate dance of technology, teamwork, and troubleshooting. The fifth test flight of Starship was no exception, but this time, the stakes felt even higher. Engineers had poured countless hours into refining Super Heavy systems, particularly focusing on the complex protocols that dictate when the rocket should abort to ensure safety. The priority was to fine-tune each component, minimize risks, and build a layer of automated checks that could detect any sign of malfunction and instantly signal an abort if needed. It's this detailed, data-driven preparation that typically keeps Starship missions on track, but in this case, a single misconfiguration brought SpaceX closer than ever to a catastrophic failure. At the core of this nail-biting experience was a feature called the spin gas abort system. Designed to monitor and regulate the gas flow used to spin up the engines, it's one of many automated systems in place to detect issues and shut down operations if anything is amiss. However, this system nearly overstepped its function. A minor misconfiguration meant it was set to abort under certain conditions that weren't appropriate for this particular test, effectively on the brink of misinterpreting a safe operation as a malfunction. This error nearly led to a command for the rocket to abandon its catch attempt and crash land nearby, a close call that served as a powerful reminder of how high the stakes are in each SpaceX test flight. As Super Heavy descended, every second mattered. The chopstick arms of the launch tower, specially designed to secure the booster upon descent, waited to lock the massive rocket into place. But for a brief moment, it looked like they wouldn't get the chance. The near-abort brought everyone's attention to just how much coordination goes into these final seconds, from timing engine shutdowns to controlling descent speeds and ensuring structural integrity. With only a second to spare, the error was bypassed, and the booster was caught successfully, narrowly avoiding what would have been a dangerous impact. Adding to the tension, a crucial structural cover, known as the chine, came loose during descent. The chine's job is to protect critical components, including single-point failure valves, which are essential for a safe landing. As this cover ripped off, it exposed these valves to potential damage just as the engines kicked into the landing burn. Thankfully, the valves remained intact, but this incident underscored just how essential every component on Starship is to its safe return. For SpaceX, each test is not only about testing the limits but also about discovering the unpredictable and preparing for the unforeseen. As Super Heavy's descent neared completion, the moment of truth approached. The tension was palpable as engineers monitored the booster's descent, knowing that everything depended on flawless coordination. Just seconds before touchdown, any misstep could have led to a disastrous impact, risking both the rocket and the ambitious reusability goal that defines SpaceX's mission. The chopstick arms on the launch tower stood ready, a marvel of precision engineering designed to catch the descending booster and secure it back on the launch mount. Yet, in these final moments, Super Heavy was just 1 second away from triggering an abort, a single heartbeat that could have sent the booster hurtling into the ground nearby. Inside SpaceX's control center, the atmosphere was intense, with engineers analyzing every data point. The spin gas abort issue from earlier nearly threw the mission off course. As the engines lowered the booster's speed for the final approach, the system remained primed, ready to abort at any sign of instability. In that split second, the near-miss configuration of the spin gas abort could have overridden all other commands, mistakenly interpreting a stable descent as a malfunction. It was a razor-thin margin that highlighted the risks SpaceX engineers take with each launch. But the abort command didn't activate, and the chopstick arms did their job, locking the booster into place. This dramatic save underscored the complexity of SpaceX's reusability goals. Bringing a booster down directly onto its launch tower is an audacious engineering feat. Every sensor, every line of code, every piece of hardware must work seamlessly. And even then, variables like atmospheric conditions, engine performance, and structural integrity are in constant flux. For SpaceX, it's a high-wire act, and this fifth test flight showed just how narrow the margin for error can be. Beyond this, the chine cover incident added yet another layer of complexity. Designed to protect crucial components on the rocket's body, the chine ripped off during descent, leaving critical valves vulnerable. These valves are single-point failure points, meaning that if they're damaged, the landing would be jeopardized. In this instance, fortune favored SpaceX, as the valves and other exposed parts remained undamaged. Yet this episode illustrated the vulnerability of even the most advanced technology under intense conditions. For SpaceX, this near-miss serves as a valuable lesson, reinforcing the need for ongoing innovation, improved materials, and meticulous checks as they push the boundaries of space exploration. Following the successful yet nerve-wracking catch, SpaceX engineers dove into a rigorous post-flight analysis, eager to understand every detail of the near-abort event and the chine cover failure. In the space industry, a close call like this isn't simply shrugged off, it's a learning opportunity. The review revealed how close they had come to aborting the landing altogether, which could have derailed not only this test but potentially future tests as well. From the spin gas system misconfiguration to the structural vulnerabilities exposed in the chine, every flaw became a point of study. It was time to transform these risks into actionable improvements, building on the hard-earned lessons of Flight 5. One of the engineers' first priorities was addressing the spin gas abort setup. The issue lay in a single misconfigured parameter, but the consequences had nearly been disastrous. They identified the need for more flexible configurations, where the system could better distinguish between actual faults and standard operational variations. Moving forward, the team decided to refine this aspect of the system with additional safeguards and refined criteria, aiming to eliminate any risk of a similar error in future flights. These modifications would allow for greater reliability without risking premature aborts in otherwise successful missions. Attention then turned to the chine cover that ripped off mid-descent. Designed to shield single-point failure components critical for landing, this cover's failure was a stark reminder of the harsh conditions during re-entry. The cover's weak point had exposed vital valves, and SpaceX knew this vulnerability couldn't be overlooked. Engineers began devising new materials and fastening techniques to prevent this from happening again, exploring options that could endure extreme forces and temperatures while keeping these critical components safe. This wasn't just a fix for the next flight but part of a broader upgrade to Starship's resilience. The balance between speed and risk mitigation came sharply into focus as SpaceX assessed its next steps. the push toward a quick turnaround and rapid reusability had to be weighed carefully against the need for robust safety. With the next test flight on the horizon, SpaceX is determined to find a middle ground, a refined approach that maintains progress without compromising the integrity of the system. Each adjustment and reinforcement in the wake of Flight 5 serves as a stepping stone toward an optimized Starship, one that can withstand the demands of regular interplanetary travel. As SpaceX readies Starship for its 6th test flight, the lessons from this near-abort become stepping stones for the future of space travel. Every mission uncovers weaknesses and sparks innovations, fueling SpaceX's drive toward a reusable, resilient rocket capable of transporting humanity beyond Earth. The Starship program is built on the belief that these missions aren't just about reaching new destinations, they're about rewriting the rules of what's possible. By refining systems, reinforcing components like the chine, and learning from close calls, SpaceX continues to push the boundaries of space technology, inching closer to a world where interplanetary travel is routine. The road to Mars, and beyond, is paved with these moments of uncertainty, risk, and hard-earned wisdom. SpaceX's vision of a future where humanity becomes an interplanetary species rests on innovation, resilience, and the courage to tackle challenges that were once thought insurmountable. For the engineers, scientists, and dreamers behind Starship, each test brings us a step closer to living among the stars. As we witness this journey unfold, we're reminded of the excitement, tension, and groundbreaking advancements that shape the future of space exploration. Join us as we follow Starship's path toward the cosmos, exploring every leap, every risk, and every near miss on this incredible journey to make the impossible possible. Subscribe, follow, and be part of humanity's bold step into a new era of space exploration.